Hey guys, Bounce Patty, how are you? Welcome to MPAI Labs. It's early in the morning, and I want to talk to you about getting stressed out regarding AI because AI is moving so fast. So get your coffee, get your tea, and I'm going to introduce you to a couple of things so that you don't get overwhelmed. When I started trying to keep up with AI felt confused, overwhelmed, thinking that I'm going to be left behind. Um, you know, I wasn't retaining anything. So, first of all, relax. AI is here, and you're never too old to learn. Okay. Yes, there's tools that come out weekly, actually within minutes, but it's okay. You want to learn the basics. You want to keep learning the basics until you feel comfortable. Okay. So, a few things that you will get overload of. Okay. Too many tools are out there. There's so much content. Should I keep switching from one platform to another? I don't know what I'm doing. You're trend chasing. Don't trend chasing. It's just going to give you learning fatigue, shallow understanding, poor retention, and you're just going to be very, very, very confused. So, what I did was I took a couple of tools that is needed and I learned the basics, okay? And learn at your pace, okay? If you're a fast learner, that's great, but a lot of people are not. So that's why I'm breaking everything down so that there's so many AIs for finance, engineering, designing, content, music. It's very competitive, okay? Don't chase that. Chase the basics. I want you to chase the basics so that you can get motivated, okay? And you can learn, and eventually you'll pick it up like I did. I didn't know anything about it, and you will have that confidence, okay? You want to solve your brain overload, okay? You don't want to be just so overwhelmed that you're like, okay, I'm sick of it, and then just walk away, okay? You don't want that. You want to keep up with some of the AI news. Just put it in, your brain. I have things in my brain that I put on the shelf. I'm like, okay, I know that Google came up with this. Okay, I'll do that later. Maybe I'll check it out in a couple days. Okay, and just try to prioritize your learning so you can stay calm. Okay. Another thing that I want to talk about is, you know, what is your learning style? Okay, because many tools will confuse a lot of people. Okay, and then you have this short-term feeling. I know, I've been there, and you won't get the long-term results. Okay, so let's break down. There's a trade-off. Okay, um, the learning styles. Many tools, you know, will give you shallow use, confusion for long term. And you don't need to be confused if you know the basics, okay? Few few tools, excuse me, and then you do a deep dive, slow process will give you that confidence, okay? I took that route. Don't do trend diving learning is horrible. I've done that. It gives you so much pressure and then you just totally burn out. I just had to walk away from learning literally for a week. You don't want that, okay? So we want very few basic tools, slow progress, so you can build that confidence up, okay? And it can be anybody from starting. It can be, teens, to like the older generation. Just figure out which tools, which I'm going to share, so you can do the slow process. You're like, well, I'm going to be left behind. No, you're not, because once you know the basics, it's going to give you that stable base, and you're going to actually learn faster once everything come out, because you need practical strategy to learn without being burnt out. And I had to learn that the hard way. Okay. So we're going to shift to basic, practical, slow learning so you can manage, the stress, no trend chasing. Okay. And second of all, you're going to build your confidence. Okay. So we don't want confusion. We don't want, pressure. Life right now has way too much pressure, and you're just trying to keep up with AI. Is just, very, very, it's just too much pressure. And like I said, I've been there. Okay. So I suggest for beginners, okay, you do the basics. You need one good LLM, and non-sponsor, okay, is CT or ChatGPT, okay, is going to help you, learn prompting, write, research, brainstorm. If you want to learn how to code, okay, this is all stuff that is for beginners. And, you can speak to ChatGPT, aka CT, and it's going to give you step by step by step by step of how to do things. Okay. Remember, this is non-sponsored from, OpenAI or ChatGPT. Okay. The next thing is, I feel non-sponsored, once again, is very friendly, and it helps you. It gives you great visual. It gives you that confidence, is Meta AI. Yes, they got other issues going on, but Meta AI, it's free. It creates great images, and it's great for social media, integration. Okay. Remember, I'm going back to ChatGPT. You can start with the free tier. Lots of stuff happening on the free tier. Don't pay for anything. Okay. The next image generation platform that I feel great for beginners, okay, that and you can actually compare it to Meta AI, is Leonardo AI. I spoke about it before. It is great for imaging, character design, and concept art, because you want to learn how to see uh, different designs, okay? And then you can hone in your prompt with the help of ChatGPT, okay? I will give you other prompt image site that I feel that's going to help you, and it's all for free. Don't be spending any money, because I've done that. It's horrible. The next one is our platform. This one is also, we do have a free tier, and it's going to help you, which is GlimPixel. Great for imaging, and it's going to give you some creative experiment for beginners. So definitely check that out. That's GlimPixel.io. There'll be a link below. Okay, that is our imaging. Okay, and the next one, believe it or not, is Google Gemini. Okay, if you need research, document analysis, for your resume, Google Workspace, integration is great for beginners. And what I love about Google Gemini is you can upload large PDFs. Okay, it can analyze spreadsheets to help you with your work and your document, and you can compare it to CT or ChatGPT. So it's really great. So those are the five things that, those are the five platform that is free that will help you with any industry. Okay. So how do you do it? Well, you're going to need a schedule. Okay. Yes, I work a full-time job. I also do social media, and, I do other stuff. So for the first week, just an example, you don't have to stick with this. Okay. So the first 2 days, you're going to learn ChatGPT. How are you going to learn ChatGPT? Well, you're going to actually ask ChatGPT or CT, you can name it. Okay. How do I learn? Give me a step by step of learning AI. And it's going to break that down. Okay. So you learn that, feel confident, just do basic stuff. And I'll share my screen in a second. The next thing is go to Meta AI. Very easy, you can just put a prompt in. If sometimes, if you don't ask for an image, it's going to give you a video, but it's fine because you're going to learn from that. That's your third day. Fourth day, upload and analyze anything and everything. Can be a PDF, worksheet, play with your resume, upload it, and, compare it to, you can also compare it to ChatGPT and see, who does better. That's the only way that you're going to learn. Remember, each AI is trained on different models. That's why all the answers is going to be different. ChatGPT or CT, I'm just going to call them CT right now because that's way too much and it's too early in the morning. CT, sometimes will just, agree with you. You don't need an AI to agree with you. You need an AI to actually give you a better answer. Okay. Remember, they're tools to enhance your life. Okay. Don't fall in love with it. Okay. And then day 5 and 6, you can play with Leonardo AI. You can compare that to even, CT image. And then the 7th day, learn and play with, Glim Pixel. Very, very easy, 7 days. And then, by the end of the week, you're going to learn how to write an effective prompt. You're going to learn how to generate images. You're going to learn how to upload, super easy, and analyze documents. Okay. You can create social media content, and images. And basically, you can understand the basic of AI assistant workflow with Gemini, without any coding experience. Okay. Those platform will help you. So I'm going to switch my screen. I'm going to switch over this. And I'm going to actually show you what platform. Okay, here we go. So if you can see my screen, okay, this is ChatGPT. Okay, so you're going to learn to ask questions here. Ask questions. Remember, you can create images here. You can write an edit here, and you're going to click here to upload. Remember, we talked about that last week. If you haven't seen that, pretty easy. Go back to that. You can do deep research. You can do web and anything here. So, you can actually, for example, speak to it casually for the beginning, okay? And then eventually, you can go back to my video where you can actually hone in your, your prompting. But since you are a beginner, I'm going to show you exactly what I did. I want to learn about AI and I am a beginner. If I can spell, tell me what I need to learn in 2 days. Okay. Be direct and give me guidance. So it's going to break down exactly what you need for day 1. Okay. Learn AI, foundation, the understanding of what AI actually is, 30 minutes, okay? Learn your terms. You're going to need to learn the terms, okay? And then in an hour, learn basic, okay? Ask questions, okay? Give you example prompts. And then, learning prompting in 2 hours and give you examples. So you can learn AI from AI. So this gives you, basic stuff for day 1, and then day 2, same thing, build real things, okay? AI writing, okay? And then you can go back and ask, all right, so since this is day 1, you're going to learn the terms, okay? If you don't understand what an LLM, ask it, can you explain, what, what this mean? What is a large language model? It's going to tell you. Okay. So you are learning basic AI from AI. And don't be afraid. Okay. And try to stick to, this, breakdown or schedule. Okay. I know we're all busy. And at the end, it's going to teach you. Okay. If you feel that you're like, okay, I know the terms. Okay. No problem. All right. I want to learn how to prompt. Okay. Just ask it. Give me a better prompt. What should I be asking you? Ask these questions. Okay. So that's the first thing that you need to do is ask AI about AI. Okay. And I felt that me asking these type of questions has helped a lot of understanding how to prompt, how to analyze certain platforms, because I use different LLMs, and this has tremendously it's given me great knowledge. I know how to basic coding. That's it. But I'm not a coder. Okay. I didn't want to be a coder. I just want to learn how to use different LLMs, different AI platforms, how to do imaging better, how to understand, the news when AI is coming out. Okay. Next thing we're going to go is we're going to go to Meta AI. We're here. Okay. So you can create images here. Okay. You can check out their vibe here. Okay. And this is basically where you put your prompt. You can create over here. This is basically my creation. New chat is here. You can, search here if you want to. You can add here. You can analyze. You can copy and paste like an image here. You can create images, create videos here. It's pretty self-explanatory. Okay. This is the easiest image generator that that I've ever used, and you just speak to it. Okay. The next one we're gonna do is Google Gemini, and by the way, all these are all free. Okay. Come in here, and you can ask. You can upload. Okay, files here. You can analyze, you can build, you can search, you can do images here. Okay, it gives you different, templates. You can do the videos here. And trust me, Gemini is really, really smart. And it's also connected to, you can add like notebooks here. But I want you to come on here and just play with it, okay? And there's different things that I have done here, like for my equal system, and it has helped me tremendously. We're developing another app, so my brother and I actually use Gemini. Very analytical. It breaks everything down. It's amazing. Okay. But for you, play with the images. Okay. Upload your resume here if you want to, and ask it to analyze it. Okay. I've already gone over this on the other video. That's why I haven't, I'm not doing it now. The next one is Leonardo AI. Okay. Once again, it's free. Log in. Okay. Once you log in, on the left hand side, it's going to give you 150 credits a day. Okay. Here's your prompting here, your images here. Play with the images. Don't do, I feel, in my opinion, don't do the videos yet. And you can check out, some, of the community of what other people have created. Okay. Remixing is basically using their, original prompt. Remember that, and you can change anything and just, play with it. It's going to, give you confidence in creating. Once again, 150 credits go a long way. Okay. And the next one is Glimpixel, which is hours. Okay. Here, you can learn and actually upload images, describe your images here, the style, the AI suggests here. It's going to actually generate the images here. And there's also, a formula of, how to master, the works. Describe your vision, choose a style. I already told you that in the past, generate, download, okay? Also has like different blogs and questions here. So basically play with it, okay? So those are the 5 platforms that you're just going to learn how to have, how to learn AI, have your confidence. You're not going to feel stressed out because a lot of people are, and you're not going to get confused, okay? Once again, all the platforms are free. The next thing I'm going to do is introduce you to a couple of, like beginner friendly platform, okay? That I feel might be for like beginner and intermediate, okay? So this is going to be, it's going to kind of like, once you learn the basic, is going to kind of push you towards of, okay, I can do this. Let me start building either my content, or let me, like create a podcast if I want to. This is the kind of stuff that you need. And yes, it's for free. Okay. All right. I'm going to share my screen. We are at Google AI Studio. I love Google AI Studio. It's free. Google has so much AI tools that is free. Okay. So you can log on with your Google or your Gmail, excuse me, and you're going to come to the playground. Okay. On the left hand side, if you're brand new, you're not going to have like a history like I do. But you can, if you look in here, you have so many tools that you can actually generate. Okay. If you don't want to use that, no problem. You come to the box down here, and you can prompt exactly what you want. Okay. And here, since Google has so many tools, you can create images in here, which use the Nano Banana. If you click on tools here, if you are a coder and you want to learn how to code, you can copy and paste the URL and, ask, Google AI Studio to summarize it, or create a pie chart or any diagram. It's going to do that. And once again, this is very effective, okay? And it's free. I use this for my sci-fi stories. It breaks everything down for me. I, give it a prompt, and here we go. All right. Basically, I give it a prompt. I explain exactly what I want. I give the images, okay? This is a sci-fi story that is coming out, okay? I know exactly what I want. And I tell, that I want this particular image. This story has, it has to be a narration style, 14,000 characters. So it's sort of like a human creature. I give it a name. This is all in my head, okay? Because it's sci-fi. I love sci-fi, by the way, okay? I give it a backstory, and I write everything down. I want narration style, dark. Basically, he's afraid, the story trying to find him himself, trying to find his way back home. The last thing he remembered, he was having dinner with his family, okay? I give it really, a lot of information. The next thing is, this is, Google AI doing its thing. And then it gives me the story, okay? It gives me, this is probably a little bit more than 14,000 characters, okay? And then the next thing, once I do that, Okay. I go, well, I need a prompt. Hank is a handsome human. Hank, AKA, is also this, and then the planet. Okay. I know exactly what I want. And then Google AI is going to, or did give me, the prompts of exactly of what I asked for. Okay. And I didn't like the output, so I asked, a little bit more, be more detailed. I want the creature to look a little bit different. So it gave me like option one, option two, option three. Okay. But what I like about this, it's an all-in-one platform that can give you anything and everything and it analyze it pretty well. Okay. Actually, it analyzed excellent. So you can, start your storytelling. You can start a podcast, anything and everything. You come to the playground, okay? And this is basically their homepage, okay? And it's free. Now, the next thing is NotebookLM. NotebookLM is amazing, okay? And yes, it is free, okay? You can create anything on here, and this I'm going to give you the basics, okay? So you have to give it a source, okay, to have an output. So you can upload a file. You can use, the URL. You can use or YouTube site here, copy and paste. You can upload Drive. You can copy and paste content in here. Once you do that, okay, it's going to start thinking here. You can do it once everything and write additional questions or statements down here. You can create audio. You can do slideshows. You can do a video overview. You can do a mind map. You can do reports. You can study with it for flashcards. You can do quizzes, infographic. You can do data table. Okay. And once again, it's free. So let me show you. So I gave it several sources, okay, and I wanted, different things regarding, for health, and I have generated, different output here. Here is actually an audio. I also, broke down the actual mapping and the breakdown of the actual gene. Once again, it's free. Just go in here and create. If you want to learn about AI, okay, you can actually, go to YouTube, find, the actual, say that you want to learn, the full storyboard of this here. You copy and paste the URL, and add it here. And once you do that, it's going to, it's going to ask you for more resources, or it's going to bring up more resources in here. I'm telling you, NotebookLM for you to create content is great, and for you to study and have flashcards or quizzes for your kids or even for yourself is amazing, and it's free. Okay. So that is part of the Google ecosystem. The next thing is also the skills. Okay, you can go to Google Skills, and this is for free. If you want to learn, about AI, you can come here, which I've done. Okay, and it's going to, they have different courses for you to learn, and it doesn't take that long. Okay, I can do it, believe it or not, like 2 classes in my lunch hour. Okay, and it's going to tell you the time right here down at the bottom. This is taking 15 minutes, but it's going to explain everything. of basically, introduction of generative AI, large language models, responsible of AI. That takes 15 minutes. How to prompt, okay? And the courses here are 2 hours. And once you do that, you can join for free. It's easy, okay? And then I think you get your certificate at the end. But there's lots of tools out there, but this one that I feel this is going to help you a lot, okay? The next one, I know it's a lot, but it's really good, okay? This right here is part of Meta, and it's going to give you 10 example tips for better prompting, okay? And I say this all the time. You need the subject, the action, the style, the background, the color, the framing, and the mood, okay? And you can try it here. So play with it. You're going to be a great prompter. Literally, if you're a fast learner, probably in a week. If you pace yourself, 2 weeks, no problem. Okay. The next one is my stand store. I'm not going to sell you anything. I want you to come here and get these 2 prompts. Just download it. It's free. It's going to give you tips and tricks of how to prompt. Okay? Free. Come here and for free. I'm not going to sell you anything. Okay? So that's my stand store. There'll be a link below. Also, the next thing, that's Leonardo. Yeah. Other than that, I think that is it of how to learn basic AI once again for yourself. Remember, you want to use CT or ChatGPT, Meta AI, Google Gemini, Leonardo AI, and Glimpixel. Those are the 5 that I feel that's going to help you. And all the other are just resources. Okay, you don't have to go to the Google AI Studio. You don't have to go to Notebook, LM if you don't want to. But learn it at your pace. Don't get overwhelmed. Okay, these are the things that's going to give you, effective skills. You're going to learn how to do the effective prompting, the effective, generate images, and you're going to have the AI tool work for your benefit to analyze any documents and give you direction, okay? And also it can create great social media content. If you're trying to start a podcast, I am telling you NotebookLM is great for that, in my opinion, okay? Remember, stay kind, hydrate, and I'll talk to you later.